This 16-foot painting depicts the long, endless death march that Holocaust victims were forced at gunpoint to endure. The young boy with his hands raised that is seen at the far left area of the left panel became one of my focus points for this piece. I repeated his figure throughout the composition. Note the cap boy to the lower far left of this painting. I painted his legs moving in a walking position, even though his head is down, his eyes are closed, and he was sleeping. As your eye travels through the group of children in the right panel, look into the upper tree trunk. I have painted victims walking through the trees to give you the feeling of the merging of the forest and prisoners. This same cap boy can be seen facing us inside the tree. He is aging very quickly from starvation and constant marching for days on end. He is an example of that first layer of painting that I was very aware of doing, my conscious work. Next, I want to point out the subconscious painting that I was not aware of doing. Look once more at the young cap boy to the far left in this composition. His hands are raised. Within his coat, notice an image of another victim seen in the armpit of his coat. A repeat of his body can be seen within this area. This is that second layer of work. Many more suggested victims can be found walking through the trees, and the two black trees in the center of this panel appear to be walking right with the prisoners. Now look in the opening in the right panel. I simply painted 3 horizontal gray brush strokes. These strokes suggest the ship, the Exodus, that would eventually save the survivors from this death trap and carry them to the state of Israel. The strokes represent my second layer of painting. In the right panel, look at the wood veining and knots in the wood. This third layer of artwork suggests the edge of the forest, a body of water, and the pairs of wood knots show more and more prisoners' eyes that were deceased, yet still want to tell you about what happened to them. As I was painting the 2 skeletal figures shown in the very far right area of the right panel, my eyes traveled across to the sleeping capped boy seen in the left panel. The imagery that you see of more young victims appeared out of the lower gray area and still remain. I did not paint them. They simply appeared and show you that fourth layer that I cannot explain to you. The concentration camp It can be seen just on the other side of the water, where black smoke tells us the prisoners continue to burn. A very sharp light falls on the children and their teacher. The children still wear their religious head caps and are in view in the right panel. Their head coverings show their perseverance in keeping their faith, even though they were being slaughtered because of it.